morning. Happy Monday. This is the 5th and final week of my first clinical rotation, y'all. I'm not gonna be emo. But good morning. It is currently 7:32. I am actually an entire hour early this morning. I just was up early. My mom and my brother right under me were traveling this weekend, so I had to get up early to make sure that my brother underneath him got up at a certain time to go pick them up from the airport, all that good stuff. So just playing big sister. But currently just parked, had a good morning, got my lunch, iced coffee. Well, actually it's not iced coffee. So I made these creamer cubes over the weekend, and I just made them huge. I bought this huge cube tray, so I just put that in there and then did the coffee over it. So it's iced coffee, but it's only just one big ice cube that's already melted into my creamer. But I kind of like this. It does feel weird not having a bunch of ice in here, so maybe I'll put some ice in there when I get to my clinic. But yeah, today is day 1 of my last 4 days. We don't actually do 5 days the last week, we do 4. That last day we have to go to campus to take law exams for our MPJE prep class, which is very annoying. I actually hate that class right now. We already have to take quizzes every Sunday, so I'm just really tired of that class. So this week will be a lot of studying because of that quiz this Friday. What else is there going on? This week I have to do my journal club presentation, and I think I'm not just presenting to my preceptor but to other people. I've officially done 2 topic discussions with my preceptor, so I've really enjoyed that. And yeah, so this week is just gonna be a lot of we have to do evals, have to turn in assignments, do my journal club, just really working hard this last week, possibly secure a letter of recommendation. But yeah, she's been very, very helpful in terms of helping me prepare for residency applications and just all the stuff residency in general. So that's why I feel pretty comfortable asking her for a letter of rec, most likely. What else? I really think that's it that I have to update you guys on. Other than that, let's get going. I'm an hour early, but still I like to kind of get some notes and stuff done. I had some patients to work up over the weekend. Well, not necessarily work up. I'm still doing the refill list things. So I did some of those over the weekend, but I kind of wanted to do 10 over the weekend. I got to 8. So maybe I'll finish the last 2 while I'm waiting for her to get here. So let's get in there. Let's get this day started. Let's have a good week. Bye. Friends, it is currently 4:45. Oh, I'm actually home early. I didn't realize I got up that early. I guess I probably got out around 4 maybe. 1, it is hot as HE double hockey sticks. It's 95 degrees here in Georgia, and the humidity is insane. Yeah, I'm burning up, and it's funny because it's a lot of us will wear long sleeves in the hospital because it's freezing in the hospital. If you don't have one of those nice hospital jackets, the Patagonia ones or Patagucci, or any other the other embroidered jackets, but it's so hot, oh my god. Today wasn't bad. Today was good. Got there an hour earlier than my preceptor, so I just worked on a lot of refill stuff, just computer stuff, working up some patients. We didn't really have that many patients come in today that needed us, they need us in the back end, but we only really leave our workroom to go counsel patients. I did get to counsel one patient today and wrote her note, But other than that, a lot of these patients that came in today were already existing, so they didn't need to be recounseled. I did have to do a few like counseling calls though. So like I used the work phone to like call and counsel people who are, you know, about to start meds, who are, you know, just doing some like 90-day follow-ups, 2-week follow-ups and stuff like that. Of course, called insurance, wrote an appeal letter for insurance, all that good stuff. You know, the normal stuff. Today wasn't really a spectacular day in terms of those kind of things, but I did get to see another P4 student. We chit-chatted. He's on internal medicine right now, so it was a nice day. And then I ran into a what's it called, I ran into 2 of the residents that are like phasing out. We were chit-chatting for a little bit. They were just talking about like investing and like finance stuff. They were talking with my preceptor and about like the breaks they're taking before starting. One's a PGY 2, so she's starting her official job, and one's a PGY 1, who actually is finishing the residency I really want to do. He is starting a PGY 2. So it was good, very chill. Since I have tomorrow off, I probably am not going to do anything tonight. I'm very irritated and hot and just hungry, and everything in me is telling me to order Chinese food, but I need to be good. So that's really it. Check in with you guys tomorrow. Good morning, happy Tuesday. As I mentioned in last night's portion, I have a work from home day today. And obviously I'm a little more dressed up than working from home because I'm actually going to go to my clinic office, honestly, like the one that I get paid at. I just get really distracted here, especially with Yami, his cute self, and you know, my journal club is due, you know, in 2 days, and I do have stuff to actually do, not things that I can push off and like do tonight. Like I legit have stuff to do. So I'm going to go to my clinic office because I can like kind of like force myself to do stuff there, and then of course in between, like if they go ahead and let me hop on some meetings to like sit in for them so they can finish other stuff, or if I need to start some new projects for them, then I can go ahead and do that in between to give myself a little bit of break, because that's where my downfall is. Like I'll be like gung-ho here for like 2 hours, and then I need a break, and that break turns into the rest of the day. So I don't want to do that today, so I'm gonna go do that at my actual office. Plus I can get it paid, and the way this bank account is set up for P4 year, I'm not gonna shy away from this check. So yeah, it'll be nice to go ahead and like sit at my desk, plug in some headphones while they're in meetings, do my stuff, when they get out of meetings, you know, chit chat as our break, work on whatever projects we need to get done together, and then, you know, hop back on my stuff in between, to kind of like giving myself like, kind of allowing myself to have like breaks, but also get my work done and all that stuff. So it'll be nice. Plus I miss everyone. I'm probably not going to do the entire day 8 to 5. Well, first of all, it's not even 8. It's like, what time is it now? It's 8:35. So I'll probably do like 9 to 3. And that way, if I do end up chit-chatting too much, I can come back here at 3, and Adam doesn't leave his office until 5. So I can have at least 2 hours by myself again here to finish stuff up. But yeah, happy Tuesday. On the agenda is journal club presentation. Finish that up, send it to my preceptor, work up the rest of my patients for tonight, and that's it really. So yeah, headed out. Good morning! Happy day before my last day. It is Thursday. It's currently 7:29. I'm still like super early. I keep getting here like an hour before my preceptor, but it's fine. I've got some stuff to go over anyway. Like I've got like 3 more patients to work up for refills. I'm finishing up my journal club, which I'm presenting tomorrow, and I've got like a manuscript that she wants me to read over, and we're going to discuss it together because we're talking about like medical writing right now and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do that. But yeah, it's been a chill morning so far. Yesterday was really chill. I don't think I updated you guys when I got home because I was just really tired and hot. Like, it's been very humid here in Atlanta, and it's just been like very like it becomes just like taxing, you know, like I get very exhausted. So like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to like pin my shirt today without it, because these type of shirts, if you pin right here, it goes like this, and then like your boobs are out all day. So, and I forgot to wear a tank top underneath here because I was so hot. But yeah, it's just so hot and humid, so like you get home and you're just exhausted and you feel nasty. And I typically wear like long sleeve things, you know, to the hospital and stuff like that, and pants and stuff. So it's like yesterday when I came home from work, I was like so sweaty, it just felt disgusting. But yeah, yesterday I went to my actual job and like did my rotation work there so that I wouldn't get distracted by Yami. It was a good day, just like catching up with all my people, and just like talking about like, you know, things I'm enjoying, things I would like to implement at the clinic, hopefully when I get employed there after residency, stuff like that. But it was just a good day overall. Got a lot of my work done. But yeah, happy Wednesday. Tomorrow is our last day, as I think I've talked about this before, but on our last days are not Fridays because we have to go to campus to take a law quiz on the last Friday of every block. So I will be doing that on Friday, and then maybe get to stop by my job again, to just like say hi to everyone, chill out. Oh no, I can't, they're going to a conference this weekend. But yeah, I am looking forward to just like my final eval, and like I think I'm gonna bring donuts tomorrow for everyone, because like I really want to thank not only my preceptor, but like I've been like working under her in this like huge, in this like not huge, but this, yeah, I would say this huge team, and we all sit in this tiny workroom together behind the patient rooms. I just want to thank them all for just allowing me to kind of like infiltrate their area, you know, because it's like, it's a lot to have like an extra person, and they also have residents and fellows with them sometimes, the physicians and the PAs and the practitioners, the nurse practitioners. So it's like, I just want to make sure that they understand, like, I'm really thankful for like also them facilitating my education, because they also did ask me questions and stuff like that, and you know, talk to me, and like they didn't act like I was like invisible. So I also want to thank them. And I was thinking of also like emailing the oncology residents, the PGY2s, because like I've got to like sit in on a lot of their stuff over the last 5 weeks too, and I feel like I should also thank them, just like allowing me to like sit in on their presentations and like asking questions and like answering my questions, and you know, they've been a big part of my past 5 weeks too. So I was thinking of emailing them a thank you note. But yeah, you guys will see that all later tonight when I'm writing stuff out. But that is really it to update on. Got my coffee. It's time to catch the shuttle. So hot. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's 97 and it's so humid, and I'm walking around in these business wear pants and getting on that hot bus with a bunch of people. But let's see. Today was a very good day. Let's see. We had a lot. Today was actually really busy too. I had a lot of like drug information questions. It was a really cool thing that I did today in terms of like a newly approved drug, like using that today, which is really cool. Like this patient has tried 4 different TKIs, tyrosine kinase inhibitors, and just was not having really good response, then found a good one, was having really good response, but then had gastric bypass surgery, and that affected the absorption of that medication and just kept going downhill from then. So then we started on a new one that's like recently approved, which is really cool. So I got to counsel on that, and then literally right after that I went to the oncology forum where they were talking about newly approved medications over the last year, and that was one of them, and I was like, oh my god, I got to actually counsel on that today. So that was really cool. And then let's see, yeah, just like that particular case actually took us like an hour and a half, because like it was a new patient, so we only had paper records that were scanned in, so it was a lot of like shifting so that you can like rotate the page, because it was like scanned in backwards, and it was just weird. But that took like a long time, so I actually wrote that up as a drug information question, a really good one. What else did I do today? We had oncology forums, I talked about that with the new drugs that were approved this year. I also had a topic discussion over febrile neutropenia, which is really good. I was very involved in that one because I see that pretty often, so I was able to answer a lot of questions. What else? Yeah, just a lot of questions today, a lot of counseling, a lot of updating chemo calendars. And then also something I really enjoyed today was me and my patient have talked a lot about residency going forward and stuff like that. So I thought that was really nice and a really good segue to me possibly asking to get a letter of recommendation tomorrow. Tomorrow is my last official day, and we have our final eval again, and as like just like my mid-polling, she was like, bring 3 things you are doing well, 3 things you want to improve on going forward. So I'm very excited to hear what she says, and it was funny because like you can tell we definitely have bonded, because she was like, I know it's gonna be hard for you to bring in 3 things that you feel like you're doing well because you're too hard on yourself. I was like, you kidding me? So yeah, we talked about that, and just about residency and how many to apply for, you know, defining what's a safety net option for you versus what is something you really want to do, stuff like that. So it was a really good conversation. I really do think that I will be a good candidate to get a letter of rec from her, just from like the feel that she gives me and stuff like that, you know. So, and plus she's letting me like offer for me to come back in July when she goes inpatient service, for me to come back and round with her for a few days if I want it during my off time. And I feel like you don't just offer that to someone that you don't see potential in and that you're interested in, you know, developing. So I'm very excited. So I'm headed home because it's very, very hot. It's already 5:17, and we have this like review session for school tonight, but I don't see a link just yet. So I'm really not sure if it's gonna keep going or not. But yeah, I'm gonna head out, and love you. Bye. No, sorry, whoa, I'm ahead of myself. Happy Thursday, but last day of my first rotation, aka my Friday, kind of. Well, not really, because tomorrow's my Friday and I do still have stuff to do, but on campus. However, happy Friday. Ugh, why do I keep doing that? Happy Thursday, Jesus Christ, Rudy. I'm so excited, not to be done, but just to have today, you know. I'm just very excited for today. It's my last day on oncology, specifically the leukemia service. I'm just excited to like, just keep, I don't know. I'm just very excited. Like, I've really enjoyed my time here, and I'm like sad that it's over, but at the same time, I'm like so excited to just like keep learning and growing, you know? It is currently 7:30. I've already, you know, I've got my coffee, I've got everything, and back in the back seat, I've got some donuts for the leukemia team, because so like I am a big believer in like thank you cards and all my good stuff. Like I do them all the time for like all my rotations. I always do a thank you card, IPPE, both of them. I did thank you cards. So I just believe in, you know, giving a personal note, you know, a thank you. So I do have, I keep like this pack that I have, if I can find them. Dang, where did I put them? Okay, there. I bought this like pack of like 100 or maybe 50 from like TJ Maxx last year because I had ran out. And yeah, it's literally just this cute little striped thank you, and you write your note on the inside. So like I have one for the entire team to go on top of the donuts, and then I'm writing one separate one for my preceptor, of course. Like this one I'm taping on top of the box for the donuts, and it just says, thank you all for allowing me to invade your space, ask questions, and see your patience over these last 5 weeks to facilitate my learning. I really appreciate you all, and I hope you enjoy these as a sign of my appreciation. Okay, I might have to rewrite that. But that's why I brought 3, just in case I didn't like what I wrote. So one's for my preceptor, one's for them. I'm gonna put hers in an envelope, and the other one's gonna tape on top of the boxes. So let me rewrite that right quick and then head in. It's 7:32. Today on the agenda is, of course, donuts, but 2, I have my journal club presentation at 10, so I'm a little nervous. I absolutely hate statistics, like the statistics part of journal club, so I'm not excited about that part, but yeah. And it's actually to like other people, so like a few of the preceptors and students also. So I'm a little, but I'm sure we'll get through it. But let's have a good day. Happy Thursday. Y'all, I just finished my first clinical rotation. Like, who is this? I just finished my first clinical rotation. Who am I? Y'all, I am a whole 1 rotation closer to being a freaking pharmacist, bro. Like, whoa. Today was great. Honestly, I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna do like a full sit down recap, maybe like Saturday, and like add it to the end of this video probably. Oh, sorry. Like, because I've got some law to still study. I have a quiz tomorrow. Honestly, I'm treating this quiz like an exam, because like, I mean, it's under, like, it's cumulative of all of our quizzes we've been taking already. So like, I'm just gonna treat it basically like an exam. So like, still kind of study tonight and tomorrow. So I don't want to do a full sit down portion today. Plus I'm tired, it's hot, you know. But I just finished my first clinical rotation. As I mentioned, been in oncology these last 5 weeks. It's been just great. We had such a good day today too. Like I mentioned, I brought donuts for everyone, so that was really nice, just like celebrating. Everyone's like, dang, like you became part of the team. And I was like, I know, it's so weird. And we just had a really good time. And yeah, it was great. Like my preceptor got me coffee today, but like we did the same thing I was telling you guys we did for my midpoint, where we went and got coffee, or we like I brought in 3 things I want to improve on, 3 things I'm doing well. And this time what we did was we did like an afternoon coffee date. So we walked over to the main building, got coffee, she got me coffee, and yeah, it was just great. And we just talked, we chatted, we talked about how I'm doing, like what to improve on going forward with rotations, because like you can tell she genuinely wants me to learn, and I'm just like so grateful for that. And she was like, you're doing great for your first rotation. This is this. She did offer to write me a writer recommendation, so that was great. I'm just so excited. Yeah, I honestly could not have asked for a better first rotation, I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like this was the absolute best first rotation I could have ever had. I'm just like so thankful that it turned out this way. I've already written up my little LinkedIn post for it. So it was just great overall, and I'm just like, I'm just really proud of myself, like for the growth. I'm just very proud of like everything. So it was a great day. I'm really tired. I'm gonna go home and just chill out for a little bit, and it's sunny outside, so maybe I can do a little pool time or something. But yeah, I just finished my first clinical rotation, y'all. I'm just like so proud of myself. And I don't, and this is also why I need to do like a separate sit down recap over the 5 weeks. I'll probably put a after this, like later on in this video, because like I just don't have all the words to express everything right now, you know, but I will. But I love you all, and I'm gonna probably like, you know, do a cute little clip or something, and then I'm probably gonna do a full like 10-minute something or a full sit down recap over the last 5 weeks after this, so stay tuned. Hello friends, happy Friday. Oh, I guess I should take this like parking sticker down, huh? Happy Friday. It is currently 10:39. I just got to school. That's weird to say, right? Today is our law quiz, our first cumulative law quiz. So if you've been following the past few weeks, you know that like every Sunday I have to take a law quiz. It's typically like 30 questions, our Sunday ones. They're considered low stakes. And then at the end of every rotation, so we end on Thursdays, on Fridays, we have to come to campus if you were at a nearby site, but if you're at a regional site, so some of our students like are sent out to like Augusta for the year, or like Tennessee for the year, or Columbus for the year. I think some people were in Savannah for the entire year as well. So like if you are at those regional sites, then you do like a proctored test online or whatever. But if you're at a region, if you're close, then you come to campus. And on Fridays we have to take this quiz at 1. I think it's probably longer and it's more stakes, and it's basically over all the objectives over the last 3 weeks. So I've, like usual, I'm doing my like normal exam, my exam day kind of thing, where I get here pretty early to go over everything, just study. I'm probably gonna go to the lunchroom. I think they're actually open because I recognize these cars near the parking. I recognize these cars, and I think these are actually our lunch ladies who I used to get here at the same time every morning with anyway, so I'm like more than certain these are their cars. So I guess her lunchroom is open, so maybe I can get like a snack or something when it hits like lunchtime. But yeah, I'm gonna go camp out, look at the campus a little bit, and just study. So see you guys. The quiz is at 1. It's currently 10:41, so bye. It is time for the end of 5 week recap. It's currently Sunday when I am filming my kind of recap. I was going to film it yesterday, but I just really enjoyed having just a very chill Saturday where I just going with the flow. We went to the farmer's market, then we ended up going to like Costco with the in-laws, and then we were like, let's go to like IKEA, and then I had a meeting with a resident in Arizona who I had connected with over Instagram. I was just having a really good, just like go with the flow Saturday. So I figured I would film this now on Sunday after all the celebration for Juneteenth and Father's Day and stuff. So it's currently like 6 maybe. It's 6:44, so I'm about to like, you know, take my hair down, take my earrings out, all that stuff, and I figured I'd go ahead and film this now. I will keep this short and sweet, nothing too long, but basically like in terms of my recap, we'll go in order of like my duties, what I grew, like in terms of my growth, and then like my goals for the future. So like first up would be my duties. So my typical schedule was like between 8:30 and 9, and then I would leave between like 4:45 to like 5:30. So typically I was home every day by at the latest 6:30. So like if we had a lot of patients coming in the next day, then I came in at 8:30. But if it was a pretty chill day, we would do like 9. There were a few days where we did 10. But yeah, that was like typically my schedule. And then throughout the day I had things like topic discussions, the leukemia team meeting, oncology forum, and like in-services that were hosted by like the other specialty pharmacy practices. A lot of resident presentations for 4 PGY2 oncology residents. So I got really close with them because I saw them just about every day for those 5 weeks because I sat in on the presentations. I ran into them in the halls. I sat in on their journal clubs. I ran into them at the lunchroom. I came to their topic discussions. I came to their oncology forums. Like I basically saw at least 1 or 2 resident every single day. So we got pretty close, and now we're all connected on LinkedIn, and some of them, like 2 of them, did the residency I'm interested in at this specific institution, their specialty pharmacy residency. So like I'm connected with them to like just ask questions and stuff going forward. So that's kind of like those are the random duties that came into that. And then like my actual duties were working on patients. So like typically the day before, we printed out the schedule for tomorrow's clinic. So if today is Sunday, we already have the schedule for Monday because we printed it out on Friday, right? So she'll give me like 4 or 5 patients that are interesting that she knows like need a proper workup, because either we're counseling them on something new, counseling them on a new regimen, counseling them on a new change. So those patients, we typically would work them up. So I'm actually kind of like, I showed this in my first week or my second week vlog of rotations, but you guys saw that I made myself my own kind of like workup sheet that had like name, their specific oncology diagnosis, what regimen they're on, what meds, doses, all that stuff. So I kind of changed it throughout the entire time, but basically what I typically looked for was like, what's their dose? What's their diagnosis? So is it AML, ALL, CML, MDS, PV, all that stuff. Then I was like, okay, so because of that, once I got familiar with all the disease states, then I would typically kind of guess what med they're on, and then I would confirm that in the chart. I would see when they were diagnosed, what other medications have they tried, all what medications they're on, what dose are they on, and then because the dose also matters based on like sometimes the disease state, are we ramping up the dose, like with something like Best Remy, you ramp up every 2 weeks, but then other doses, other meds like venetoclax, they might stay at half dose forever if they're also on antifungal prophylaxis with like posaconazole or voriconazole, right? So I check with those kind of things. If it doesn't make sense while they're still on a 200 venetoclax, and it's nothing in the note that says they're on an antifungal and their med list doesn't say they're on antifungal, then I kind of like dig further to see why are they only at 200 when the full dose is 400. So I did a lot of that, kind of just like understanding what's going on. A lot of these patients also see outside providers. So it was a lot of digging in the outside notes to also find, are we doing another cycle? Are we trying to like do a goal for transplantation? Or are we just going to stop after this cycle? Things like that. So a lot of digging, a lot of just taking notes on these patients, which got easier and easier over time. But yeah, I would work up those 4 or 5 patients the night before. And then when we come in, we talk about those patients, and then she'd be like, okay, so what's your plan? And that was kind of hard for me in the beginning because I felt like I felt like my plans are always wrong. And yes, sometimes they were wrong, but it also taught me how to develop my own plan. And this is also a goal for me going forward, because like I kind of like fell off developing my plan because a lot of our patients kind of got very complex. So later on, like right after my midpoint, when we talked about me developing my own plan sometimes, right after that, all of our patients got complex. And so it's kind of hard for me to keep developing my own plan for sometimes because I didn't understand this patient. What else? So I'd work them up, I'd present them to her, we'd talk about that, and then so if it's someone who I caught needed a dose adjustment, we would go ahead and do that. So I would calculate it typically the night before, or even calculate it there with her. We would do that in the inside of Cerner. And then if it's someone we needed to counsel, then I would print out the oral chemotherapy education sheet, which is a great tool. I totally recommend this if you are going to have an oncology rotation. Save oral chemotherapy education sheets.com, and then IV chemotherapy education sheets.com. Save that website because literally they have a library of all the oral and IV agents. You just type in the name and it prints out a very straightforward, very easy to understand educational packet for the patient. And I love these for like educating my patients and counseling them, because one, what I would do to learn the drug, because first of all, sometimes these would be a new drug that I just learned and I have to go counsel them. And she was comfortable letting me do this, and we went together. I never went alone alone. She was always with me because sometimes these patients do have questions that I genuinely don't understand because I'm not an oncology specialist. So she always came with me, but I typically led the counseling session. And so basically sometimes like she'd be like, do you want to counsel? Like, do you feel comfortable? Do you want to try it? I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. And even if I just learned the drug, printing out that 8-page pamphlet for the patient and highlighting those like simple things for them also taught me myself about the drug. There's so many similarities between chemotherapies because all of them are going to decrease their white blood counts. All of them are going to increase their risk of bleeding. So it's still like common things like, hey, watching out for staying away from sick contacts, washing your hands, reduce your risk of bleeding. So like brush your teeth a little gentler, use a soft bristle brush, maybe blow your nose gentler, use a nail file instead of a clipper. There's things like that. Like you'll still kind of go over that stuff. We talked a lot about reproduction because unfortunately you cannot get a woman pregnant on this medication, as well as women are not supposed to get pregnant. So just teaching our male patients to wear condoms and discuss fertility, things like that, like sperm banking. So a lot of that like was similar in all the agents, but then you'd have those agents that cause more discoloration of your urine and the fluids, and then these would cause like muscle pain, fatigue. These might cause pancreatitis, so watch out for like jaundice. Liver failure, so watch out for like jaundice. This one might cause like pancreatitis, or this one might cause ocular toxicity, so you have to get eye exams all the time. So there's a lot of like learning the differences and just counseling on those things. I will say like something I definitely grew on is like, you know how like in class or in lab in school you counsel over like your statins and all that stuff, and it's like a 10-minute counseling session. Like those got a little bit longer when I got into the HIV space, and so I counseled maybe for 15-20 minutes, but once I got quite familiar I could easily shorten that down to like 10, sometimes even 8. It also depends on the patient. Like if they understand it already, I don't have to spend that much time. I just have more time for questions. But these counseling sessions are like a minimum of 20-30 minutes. So that's something that definitely was different for me, but also I enjoyed it a lot. I really, really enjoyed just talking with the patient and, you know, us chatting about stuff that doesn't include their sometimes terminal illness. I talked to one patient about he's studying cars, and another patient's going back to school at UGA and what they want to study, and them asking me questions about my life and stuff. So I really enjoyed forming those connections, and like this rotation 100% solidified that I'm interested in that specialty pharmacy / AmCare space, and that is 100% what I'm going to apply for. I do not see myself applying for an inpatient residency, honestly. Like it just doesn't give me as much satisfaction as this like clinic setting does. And you guys already knew that because of my experience in HIV pharmacy. So obviously being in the outpatient oncology pharmacy clinic space was life for me. Granted, I am going back to shadow her when she goes inpatient like later this month. I'm looking at my calendar. I think it's late July. I'm gonna go be shadowing her inpatient and do rounds with her. And I'm sure I'll enjoy that too, but it won't give me as much satisfaction as outpatient will. What else? So those are my duties, like counseling patients, making chemo calendars. And chemo calendars exactly like what I mean, like here. Like, so this isn't a chemo calendar, this is just my workout calendar, but literally it'd be just like this, and it would be like days 1 through 5, you're doing vincristine. Days 6 through 10, you're doing intrathecal methotrexate, which will not happen. I don't think people do like 6 days of intrathecal chemotherapy. I'm just giving examples. But like it's literally what you see. We customize it for each patient, because yeah, one patient might be on an AYA regimen, but there might be one thing that we completely change for them. So like we might dose reduce from 100% full dose to 75% of the dose. So we have to like adjust them for each patient. So that was really fun, just like recalculating a lot of the doses. I love doing things like that, not gonna lie. So making those calendars, counseling. Sometimes we'd have to go down to the infusion center to like counsel them at the infusion center and teach them how to like use the pump, or set up the specific like pump bag that they would get for like stuff like blinatumomab, which is like a continuous infusion, and they go home with this like family pack and pump thing. I learned a lot. Yeah, I learned like so much. So yeah, I mean, in terms of growth, Like I mentioned, I just want to do better at kind of like forming my own plan on my next rotation. Well, not this one. This one I'm at a health center at a university. So this one's just like my traditional community pharmacy, just a healthcare student health center setting. But my next rotation is infectious diseases at a large hospital that has a large ID unit. So I really just want to make sure that I am kind of like formulating my plan on that rotation and getting better, because after that rotation I just keep getting a little bit harder. I go into like hepatitis after that, and then, well, CDC is a lot different, like policy and stuff like that, but like just going forward in a lot of these rotations, I just want to make sure that I am developing my plan. I want to get more confident. I got pretty confident towards the middle of my rotation. Even she mentioned that. She was like, you got pretty confident. And I think that you are generally confident, but you're just really hard on yourself, and then that diminishes your confidence. And I wholeheartedly agree. What else? That's like my main goal. It's just like be more confident, start developing my plans, and she like really commended my patient workups and just like my like willingness to like start learning on my own. So like I would go home and look up topics that we talked about during the day that I didn't necessarily understand, and the next day I'd come in and I'd be like, hey, quick question about that topic yesterday. And she was like, that is one of the most important things I can like ask for in a student, is someone that's willing to learn, someone that's eager, and someone that is teachable. And she was like, you've got that in the bag. So I'm just very excited just to see how I grow from this point, because I already feel like I grew a lot in these 5 weeks. So just seeing how I'm going to grow forward from now. She did offer to write me a letter of recommendation going forward, so I'm probably going to text her on Monday just to like check in, see how everything's going, because I will see her again in July. So I'm excited about that, like the fact that she even offered to let me come back, and we already put it on the schedule, and she's already like, I can't wait to see you again. So I'm excited. Next up, as I mentioned, is a health center. So it's just my traditional community. I'm excited to have kind of like a little break in between this, honestly, before going on to this next heart rotation. But I'm going to probably sign up for like maybe, I know ID Stewardship is a really good website. It's an infectious diseases pharmacist that teaches, like that does like lectures and stuff, and quick overviews and stuff. So I'm either going to like redo my entire ID class, like go back in the system and see if I can rewatch those lectures over the next 5 weeks while on this rotation, just to like get back into my ID stuff. Although oncology has a lot of ID with it, so do not sleep on that part. There's a lot of antimicrobial, antifungal, antiviral prophylaxis that a lot of these patients have to be on. However, that was about the gist of it. I did do some vanc troughs, some vancomycin stuff for that 2 days that we went inpatient, but outside of that I didn't do much. However, that's like the whole antimicrobial and all that stuff, you see that every day in oncology. You have to make sure this patient's on one of those. So I will say there's a good combination, but I just need to go back over like bacteremia and just like basic coverage stuff. So I think like over the next 5 weeks, I'm probably going to try to like do like a topic a day maybe, just to like get me prepared for my ID rotation. So, and I do have a break before that rotation. I have a break after this one. So I have a break from July 23 to that first week of August, I want to say. So I'm excited. I had a great time. I feel like I learned a lot. I definitely am proud of myself for just growing and just like securing a lot of recommendations so early on. And I'm like so excited about this specific letter of recommendation because we were talking about it, and she was like, I would happily write one for you. You're like the student I would want to write one for. I'm eager to. And she was like, also, I only have 2 students this year. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And she was like, so technically I'm only writing 1 because that next student I have is spring after things are due. So like, I just give my all to yours. And I was like, oh. And I didn't even think about that, because she was like, yeah, sometimes if a preceptor has 8 students that year, they could probably tap out and only be like, yeah, I can only write 4 this year. And I didn't even think of that, y'all. So like, I do technically have 2 letters of recommendation right now. I've got hers, and I've got my director at my pharmacy, because I am applying to specialty pharmacy with interest in HIV and AmCare. My clinic has already offered to write me one, because that's literally what I do now there. So I'm excited to have those 2. She was like, we have to do probably I'll probably do another preceptor too, to do 3. And then for my 4th one, she said to do someone at my school. So she gave me a lot of good advice. I will say, definitely on your rotations, like don't just like ask questions about their job and like what you're doing in rotation. Ask like really good questions about like going forward, about rotations, job security, obtaining letters of recommendation, how many residencies to apply for, things like that. So she gave me a lot of good advice, being that she's only 2 years out of school. Yeah, she's she's 3 years from out of school. So she helped me a lot, but I told myself I'd keep this short and sweet, but I just talked for 17 minutes, but I love you guys. I really appreciate you guys for sticking around for this first rotation, and I'm just like really excited to keep documenting this entire year. But I'm gonna cut this off now. I love you, and I will see you guys next week for my first week at a health center, or for my first week at a student health center at a large university here in Georgia. Bye.